You ever had a ghost for a roommate? No, I'm dead serious. Like actually paying rent, living your broke early 20s life, sharing a crusty 2-bedroom in downtown Toronto, and your roommate's a fucking ghost. Yeah, welcome to my hell. So, I just moved into this old-ass third-floor walk-up. Creaky stairs, sketchy plumbing, fridge that groaned like it had trauma. But it was cheap, and I was desperate. I was doing freelance gigs back then, editing wedding videos and designing logos for people who'd ghost me before payment. Ironic now, I guess. Couldn't afford to move again, even if the walls started bleeding. At first, it was kind of funny. My roommate Mike, I'd known him since college, came out of his room one morning looking like he hadn't slept. You pacing the hallway last night? He asked, eyes half dead. And what was with the knocking on the wall? I blinked at him. I was asleep, man. I didn't do any pacing. He just kind of shrugged. Said maybe it was the neighbors. Paper-thin walls, old buildings, you know how it is. Except it wasn't. It kept happening. Almost every night. Mike would bitch about the thuds, the knocks, the footsteps crossing the apartment at 3 a.m. sharp like a goddamn drill sergeant doing laps. I laughed it off until I started waking up to the same shit. Pacing, scratching. That's when I noticed the smell. It was always in my room. Always around 2 or 3 a.m. This thick, disgusting mix of cheap, powdery floral perfume and damp rot. Like someone poured an entire bottle of dollar store body spray on a pile of moldy clothes in a litter box. I'd get this wave of dread, like pure cortisol, about 10 seconds before the smell hit. Every time. Like my body knew something was coming. Like it was warning me. Mike bailed 4 months in. Couldn't take it anymore. Said he needed to clear his head and moved in with his girlfriend. Left me hanging with the whole rent. So now I'm living alone in that haunted, reeking hellhole with no money and a fridge full of expired oat milk. I figured, screw it, maybe the bad vibes were tied to my room, not his. Worth a shot, right? The very first night I slept in his former room, I had an incredibly detailed and realistic nightmare. A nightmare so vivid I still get cold thinking about it. In the dream, I'm standing in the bathroom, lights dim, flickering. The mirror is cracked from corner to corner like a spiderweb across glass. I'm holding this jagged shard of mirror in my hand, and I start cutting my own face. Over and over. Just slicing, not screaming, just watching. I woke up in a full sweat, heart punching through my ribs, and my hands were shaking so bad I knocked over the lamp trying to turn it on. That was the start of the worst stretch of my life. Loud bangs in the walls. Toilet flushing by itself. Water turning on in the bathtub. Full fucking blast at 2:47 a.m. like clockwork. Always 2:47. Why that time? No clue. Maybe that's when it died. Maybe that's when it woke up. The night that broke me wasn't the blood dreams or the smell or even the footsteps. It was the TV. I just wrapped a long gig. Rain fried, nerves shot. I got home, microwaved leftover pierogies, and crawled into bed. The apartment felt off that night. Like walking into a room right after a huge argument. Air was heavy, tense. I chalked it up to anxiety. Had been having a lot of that lately. I flipped on the TV. Some grainy old black and white horror flick was playing. Comfort noise. I watched for a bit, then clicked the remote off, placed it on the nightstand right next to my head, and rolled over. Woke up to blaring sound and flashing light. Cartoons. Full volume. The screen practically lighting up the entire room. My first thought was that I must have fallen asleep before turning it off. Until I checked my phone. Only 45 minutes had passed. Okay, maybe I did forget. I clicked the remote again, shut it off, and this time placed it on the dresser, farther away, just to be sure. Rolled back into bed. Dozed off again. Then came the voices. Not TV voices. Human ones. Talking. Too loud. Like a dinner scene from a soap opera. People arguing. Laughing. I bolted upright. The TV was back on. Different channel. Different show. Some old dinner party movie, everyone around a long table, talking in circles. The music was the soft horror build, screeching strings, pulsing drums. Not the channel I'd left it on. Not the show I was watching. I reached out for the remote, heart thudding. My hand hit wood. Nothing there. I scrambled up, pulling my phone light. Remote was gone. I scanned the room and spotted it, lying on the floor in a straight line between me and the door, as if something had placed it there. I didn't even process it. I just jumped up, ran to the light switch, flipped it on. TV volume maxed out. 100%. Blasting. I turned it down manually, hand trembling. And when I finally got the remote and turned the TV off for the third time, I noticed the weirdest thing. The TV menu was set to input from a DVD player. I didn't own a DVD player. That night, I slept on the couch like a coward. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw myself again in that mirror, grinning as I sliced my own cheek open. The couch was no better, by the way. Around 4:13 a.m., the water in the kitchen sink turned on by itself. I moved out 2 weeks later. Left a bunch of my stuff behind. Didn't care. I even told the new tenant when they were touring the place, "Hey, this apartment's a little weird at night." They laughed. I didn't. You ever feel like something wants you to stay? Like it's trying to break you down so you can't leave? Yeah, that apartment wanted me. Bad. But I left. And sometimes when I jolt awake around midnight, heart racing for no reason, I swear I catch a whiff of that same cheap perfume, the one that clung to the walls, and hear the faint rattle of old pipes that shouldn't be in this building. I tell myself it's just memories messing with me, nightmares left behind. But deep down, a part of me wonders, what if an apartment never really let me go? What if it's still out there, still waiting? Maybe still looking for a new roommate. Love horror? Subscribe for more terrifying videos.